Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's get our guest speaker on here. Last week he came with what was last week? Well, the theme for the month. He's going to tell you the theme of the month is Achievement August. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to give you guys the answer, okay? And he talked about a couple things last week: liability, leaders never show worry, they never show doubt, fear, anger. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, all the way from the Oregon coastline, or Oregon, should I say, we're so happy to have him today. Without further ado, everybody, let's give a warm welcome to none other than Mr. Dean Tarrolly, Regional Vice President.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's great to be here. So yeah, it's funny. I was going to bring that up in a minute, but I'll just bring it up now to start. So first and foremost, Mr. T, I appreciate it. I appreciate being on. It's been busy. So I'm actually still down here in Southern California. I extended my stay as we've had a lot of stuff going on. We've had a lot of meetings, a lot of people put me to work, which is great. So you guys, I would encourage you to not take this window of time with Mr. Thomas seriously. I'm not talking about my training. I'm talking about his call on a daily basis. I think it is extraordinary that he does this. And so many of you are not on his team, meaning that you're not in his money, but he treats you like you are. And that's a sign of a leader. So Mr. T, I appreciate it. And you guys, just full disclosure, I didn't think I was going to be able to do the training today, and it was going to be tomorrow. And I told him yesterday, he goes, no problem. We'll make the adjustment. We'll swap you to Friday. And then late last night, it turned out that I was not going to be leaving today, where I thought I was going to be on a plane right now. And it turns out that I'm still here in Southern California. And I reached out to Al this morning. I said, Al, everything changed. Now it's flip-flopped another 24 hours. Can I do today? He said, yes. So there's a lesson in this. Leaders know how to roll with the punches. Leaders can move and bob and weave when things happen, but they can still keep their goal intact. There's so many people out there, and this was not going to be something I was going to train on, but just a side note as a result of this, right? So many people out there, they one thing takes them off their plan or their predetermined idea of how things are going to go. And when something throws a wrench in it, then they think the whole thing doesn't work. And that's absolutely not true. Have you guys ever seen those cooking shows on like those cooking competitions on like Food Network, like late at night, and it's a bunch of people and they're like competing, right? And they have a window of time to do it. What do they have to do? Or what do they do when something gets burned or something gets screwed up or they drop the eggs or whatever? They have to still use the ingredients that the panel gave them, and they got to come up with something, right? So they're still cooking, but the ingredients may have changed. So the reason I'm telling you guys is this: you should expect that in ACN. Where there was going to be 10 people at the meeting, there were 3 people at the meeting. We were going to meet over here, now we're going to meet over there. We were going to meet at somebody's home, now it's at a Starbucks and it's super crowded and it's really loud. How do you act? And that's an important thing, you guys, because leaders never show worry, doubt, fear, or anger. So when those things come up, man, you need to be the rudder on the boat. You need to be steady, right? That's right. In fact, you guys write this down: stay ready, stay steady. That was not in my notes. It's just, Deb Rockmore just put, be ready. Well, how about this? Stay ready and stay steady. And I'm actually putting that in my notes. I'm putting that in my notes from today that was not in here. Stay ready and stay steady. By the way, could I end the call now? Was that enough for everybody? Everybody get enough out of the call? Okay, cool. It's been that great being with you guys, and it's my shortest call I've ever done. So take care, and catch you next week. All right, good deal. So you guys, Al, thank you for everything that you do for all of us. We appreciate it. I know the company does. I know the founders do, and I do as well. So, and it's funny, you guys, Al texted me after the call last week, and he's like, dude, you were fired up. And I was fired up, and I'm still fired up, coming off of the Palm Desert event, which is amazing. We're building right now. Everything we're doing is building into Orlando, and then from Orlando into Lake Tahoe. Cannot recommend it highly enough. You guys, we have this system down now of these different types of events to fill the gaps between the nationals. Like I'm telling you, like I'm not suggesting, I'm telling you, plug into these events and watch what happens to your business, right? Anyway, let me leave it at that. So we talked about August being Who remembers the word? Al said it. Someone type it in the chat. Something August. Achievement. Thanks, Catherine. Achievement August. So here's the deal, you guys. This is important. Okay. I want you to write this down. I want you to write Achievement August. And then underneath this, here's what I want you to write. Okay. Here's what I want you to write. Under Achievement August. First one I want you to write is have you. The second one I want you to write down is are you. And the third one I want you to write down is will you. Okay. Have you achieved something? Has this been a participation exercise, or has this been, an activity exercise? Have you taken action? Have you achieved? Have you added a customer on the books? Have you done a presentation or participated in a presentation? Have you? Number two is are you? Are you doing that today? Are you doing that this week? Right? So you got to ask yourself that, you guys, and you got to be honest with yourself. And if you haven't, you're still in like audience mode. Let me be clear with you. You're still in audience mode. Do you guys understand something? That when you're in an audience, you guys will all freaking listen up to this. I'm coming up with stuff that's not even in my notes, and I was ready for you guys today. Let me tell you something. Are you in audience mode or are you in performer mode? Let me give you guys, hey, listen up. Stop, everybody stop writing, look at the camera. And thank you for having your cameras on. Check this out. Stop writing and look at the camera. I'm telling you something right now. Are you in audience mode? Are you in performance mode? Listen to me. You have to pay to be in the audience. You get paid if you're a performer. You have to pay if you're in the audience. You get paid if you're a performer. You freaking figure it out. You figure it out. Are you in the audience and you're paying to be a part of this? Or are you a performer and you're going to get paid because your performance is going to get better and better and better? You decide. It's not up to me. It's not up to Al. That's a decision that you make. Got to write that down too. See, I'm a student just like you guys. So you're going to pay or you're going to get paid. Audience, you have to pay to be at the event. You have to pay to go into the theater. You have to pay to go to the sporting event. You have to pay to go to the parade. You have to pay to go to those things. But if you're performing, you have the chance to get paid. So you decide. So have you in Achievement August? It's have you, are you, and then the last one is will you. And I know what the answer is for everybody on will you. I'm going to, I will. Really? What's that old joke that someday is not on the calendar, right? So when I say to you, and I mean this from my heart, when I say to you, and I'm getting on you guys, that if you're an audience member or you're a performer, and I'm telling you that if you're an audience member, you are paying, and if you're a performer, you're getting paid. You get to make the decision where your ticket takes you. Are you going to be on the stage performing, or are you going to be in the audience watching? Like, freaking make a choice, figure it out, pick one, right? Robert gets it. I see him over there. Robert, I see you circling the globe. I see you getting it. That's the deal, you guys. Here's the other thing, right? When we talk about respecting your role in ACN, it doesn't mean that we don't want people to develop and become leaders. We want people to develop and become leaders. But you guys, you got to have some focus on the things that are going to advance your business. There's so many people, some of them on my team, they focus on all this crap that just, like, you guys, get customers, share the opportunity, build teams. Like, come on. And you guys, I'm going to tell you this as well. You want a ton of customers, build a big team. Can everybody get 200 points? Can everybody get 100 points? Can everybody get 75 points? Can everybody get 50 points? Can everybody get 300 points? Yes, you can. But if I gave you two options, and here are the options, you guys freaking listen up to this. Listen, look at the screen. If I gave you two options, option number one, for 1,000 points, they came from you. Or option number two is you had 100 team members and they each had 10 points. You choose which one you want. Which one do you want? Do you want the first one or do you want the second one? Do you want 1,000 points from you, or do you want 1,000 points from 100 people? Give me a break. Get back into what our business is. Let's build teams, share the opportunity. Right? Like that's where we're at. So decide 1,000 points coming from you or 1,000 points coming from 100 team members. By show of hands, who likes the idea of having a team? If you have not talked to anybody since this last call, look, you're not in trouble. You're not fired. Your business is just in neutral. You're not going anywhere. I mean, you're not going anywhere. Don't know how else to tell you. Al, is that a true statement? Mr. Thomas, is that a true statement? His internet's spotchy. He's freezing up, at least on my side.
It is a statement.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a true statement. Okay. So one of the things that leaders do is they have an ability, in my opinion, to make their circumstances great, to make wherever they are great, right? And that's why I referenced Fast Times at Ridgemont High. By the way, for the record, show of hands, who watched it? Who watched it? For real, who watched it? Who watched it? Man, for those of you that did not raise your hands, listen, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Look, you had a week. I asked you to watch a 2-hour movie in a week. I'm telling you right now, that's a fail. You failed. That's a fail. I'm gonna tell you right now, you failed. I asked you to do one thing. I'm one person on one call on Al's team, and I asked you to figure out 1 week so you could get the point that I was gonna make today. You guys, was I nice about that last week? I asked everybody I said, you guys, please watch that movie. I said, please watch that movie. Okay. Now, so for those of you who didn't watch the movie, this means nothing to you, which is a shame. For the people that did watch the movie, listen up. Damone says this. He's teaching Rat about dating. And here's what he said. No matter where you are, that's the place to be. Isn't this great? Isn't this great? Isn't this great? Right? So at the restaurant, there could be nobody there. Isn't this great? We got the place to ourselves. There could be 3 people at a PBR that were supposed to have 20. Isn't this great? We get to have a private meeting. I love it when a meeting only has a couple people because now I can just put all my attention on you guys. Man, there's 20. We invited 15 and there's 30 people here. Isn't this great? We were expecting 20. There's 30 here. This is great. This is great. One person shows up to a meeting. Your new rep is freaking out because they feel like they failed. And you look at your rep and you go, listen, Billy, Harry, Mary, Joe, Bob, Sally, freaking whatever. This is great. We get to spend that private time with your person. This is freaking great. Now, let me tell you guys something. For anybody who's worked with me or has been in meetings with me or has been in Saturday trainings with me, do I give the same energy, presentation, and training, whether it's one person or whether it's 150 or whether I'm on stage and it's 5,000? It's the same. Why? Because what did I say? You have to be consistent, right? You guys have to be that person. So now I'm telling you guys, first of all, it's a fun freaking movie. You guys, hi, welcome to American, like Americana. Like, go watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High. It's fun. It's going to, look, a lot of us are a little bit older. It's going to send us back to our teenage years, but how fun. But the point is, you're going to see when Damone says that, you're going to be like, oh my God, now I see what Dean was saying. I understand the point. Wherever you are, no matter what's going on, whatever the circumstances are, man, this is great. Don't worry. Like, leave your problems at the door. They'll be there when you're done with the meeting. You can pick them up and you whine and bitch and moan and complain. They ain't going anywhere unless you do something about it. But you'll notice that if you have that really great attitude and you go back, the problems are different because now you're different because of how you treated your environment. By show of hands, does this make sense, this conversation? Okay, cool. Right out of my notes, right? Are you making your space great? Are you making your space great? Wherever you are, that's the place to be, right? That's that example from Fast Times at Ridgemont High from Damone. Now, look, you can turn whatever's going on into a positive, right? And if something's already going good, now it's going to be great. If something's going to be a challenge, you're going to turn it into a good thing, right? So, John Maxwell used to say this thing, or I guess he still does. Haven't seen him in a minute, but he's like, you win or you learn, right? And I don't have an issue, and I don't think really successful business people have an issue with the word fail, because you know what they say? They'll say, if you don't get the result that you want, that's where the learning comes in. Hey, man, I know what not to do here. I know what not to do there. I know that what I tried didn't work that time. Oh, I could go down that path again. I recognize that, and now I'm going to go down this path. Does that make sense, you guys? This is data. You're getting data. In fact, you guys can write this down if you want. This is right out of my notes for you guys, literally word for word. Achievement requires results. Results produce data. What data do you have to evaluate where you're going? Now, you guys, we don't have a lot of data points in ACN. Customers, presentations, peaks. I love hearing the people that have all these opinions about how to do this and how to do that. But you want to know what? They've put me on 0 3-way calls with people. Hey, we should do this and we should jump on his meeting and her meeting and this training and that training. And guess how many 3-way calls they put me on? 0. Guess how many presentations have happened? 1 or 0. Now, look, you guys, I'm not coming down on you if that was your goal. If your goal was to present to one person this week, I think that's great. And if you hit your goal, I'll be the first one to pat you on the back and congratulate you. You guys have heard me say that. If your goal was to be an ETL and you're an ETL, congratulations. If your goal was to be an RC or an RD and you're at that position, congratulations. But do not come in here. At least, look, you can come in on all the other days. Come in on all the other days. I don't care. That's Al's call. It's not my call. But don't come in here on the days that I'm training and say, I'm going RVP, I'm going SVP, I'm going regional director, I'm going regional coordinator, I'm going to be, I'm doing those things. Don't come in here and say those things and stack weeks of no activity. That's not fair. It's not fair. Right? Now look, I can't kick you out, nor would I. It's not my call, but I will tell you this. Why, I heard him talking about before we started. Thank you, Sarah. I heard Al talking about before we started. Like, I'm going to Fresno, and guess what we're doing? Meeting people, right? You guys, when Al starts his call, God, you guys are getting me fired up. Hang on. When Al starts his call, he goes, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And he does that. Do you guys know what that says to me? Wouldn't it have just been easier? Listen. Wouldn't it be easier, less energy and less work for him to say, hey, everybody, good morning. Welcome to the call. Wouldn't that be easier? Hey, we have a guest speaker on. He's a great guy. Turn it over to the guest speaker. Wouldn't that be easier? But he doesn't freaking do that. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, you from there. Hey, you from there. Hey, you from there. Hey, you from there. Hey, oh, mister, they're sharing it here. Look at your glasses. Oh, there's Rick from Hawaii. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, you. Hey, James. Hey, right. Oh, Sacra Tomato. What he says, all that stuff. Do you guys understand? Do you understand that how you do one thing is how you do everything? Are you guys getting that? How you do one thing is how you do everything. So from hosting the call, so let me ask you a question. If he brings that energy to hosting this call every single day, and then he does trainings, and then he travels, let me ask you guys a question. Do you think he brings the same energy to all those other activities that he brings here? Do you guys understand? Oh, it's because Al's so special. He's so this, he's so that. Nonsense. He's made a choice that's how he deals with his business. That's who he is. So I'm not asking, look, you guys, don't freak your friends now. The next time you go to a party the next time you meet somebody for like a breakfast meeting, please don't sit across the table from them when they're getting their eggs and look at them and go, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Like, don't do that. Like they're going to think you're drunk. But I'm telling you, you can come in with an energy that is attractive to people. So you guys, bottom line is this. I said at the beginning of this month, I was going to be really direct with you guys. And I like to think that I'm very direct with you every month that I do this call, but look at you guys. I want it on the record that I don't want your position to be at the same position it was August 1st on August 31st. I mean, God damn it. Let's talk to some people. Who cares if they say yes or no? Who cares? And I want you guys to focus on the things that are going to get you achievement. Did you get another customer? Did you put someone on the phone with your leader? Did somebody see the information? Who cares what they do? That's not the message. The message is get them in front of the information and let them decide what they're going to do. But when you find that person, now it is your responsibility to put them through the system that the leaders have for you and help get them a result. Get them a result. So that's what I got for you today. You know, I want to see you guys achieve, and I knew it was going to be a saucy month. It's just the way that it is. And all hands are building into Orlando. From Orlando, we're going up to Lake Tahoe. Lake Tahoe is going to be sick, and that's going to build right into the new year. So you guys, if you haven't watched Fast Times at Ridgemont High, go watch the freaking movie. It's fun, but you won't forget that scene, because where you are, that's the place to be. Now, what are you going to do with it?